She wasn't a prize. She was a universe. To Casanova, a woman wasn't something to win. She was someone to understand. That's why he was unforgettable. Not because he chased women, but because he saw them. And in a world of shallow men, he went deep. The myth versus the man. Say the name Casanova and you'll hear laughter, winks, smirks. He's the icon of romance, the ultimate womanizer. A man remembered for how many lovers he had. But the truth? The truth is far more interesting. Giacomo Casanova was not just a lover. He was a writer, a philosopher, a man of wit, language, travel, and thought. He lived with passion, but he loved with attention. He didn't pursue women to conquer them. He pursued them to connect, to understand their minds, their hearts, their mysteries. He didn't see women as trophies. He saw them as equals, as complex, brilliant, fascinating souls. He once wrote, "I felt myself born for the love-making opposite to mine, and I have always loved it and done everything I could to make myself loved by it." This wasn't manipulation. This was admiration, genuine and deep. He gave women something most men didn't: time, presence, respect. Casanova's legend isn't built on how many women he seduced, but on how deeply he saw them. And that is why they never forgot him. Presence over power. Casanova didn't dominate rooms. He entered quietly and made people feel seen. He didn't seduce with money or power or titles. He seduced with something far rarer: presence. When he spoke with a woman, he wasn't calculating his next move. He was listening, truly listening. He noticed the tone of her voice, the way her eyes shifted when she smiled, the quiet sadness behind her words, the pride in her laugh. While other men tried to impress, he tried to understand. In a world of distractions, Casanova gave something priceless: undivided attention. And that's why women were drawn to him. Not because he was flawless, but because around him they felt real, not judged, not possessed, not used, but seen. He didn't try to take power from women. He gave them the space to shine in theirs. That's not seduction. That's presence. And it's unforgettable. Emotional intelligence. Casanova's true charm. Casanova's charm wasn't about words. It wasn't about his looks. And it definitely wasn't about tricks. It was about emotional intelligence. He understood that every person walks into a room carrying invisible weight, a heartbreak, a fear, a dream no one believes in. While others focused on appearances, he paid attention to feelings. He didn't just notice beauty, he noticed energy. He could sense when someone was hiding pain behind a smile. He could hear insecurity in a confident tone, and instead of exploiting it, he acknowledged it, softly, gently, respectfully. That made him magnetic, because people don't remember what you wear. They remember how you make them feel. And Casanova made people feel like they mattered. He didn't interrupt. He didn't compete for attention. He created space, space for a woman to speak, to express, to unfold. And in doing that, he made emotional connection feel safe. In a time when women were often ignored, silenced, or controlled, Casanova gave them something revolutionary: understanding. That's not manipulation. That's empathy. And it's rare, even today. No ownership, only moments. Casanova's philosophy of love. He wasn't chasing pleasure. He was chasing meaning. And women felt that. That's why so many of his romances weren't quick affairs. They were bonds. They were stories. They were moments etched in memory. Emotional intelligence isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's quiet. It's powerful. And it's unforgettable. That was Casanova's gift, not just to charm, but to connect. Not to seduce with pressure, but to draw people in with presence, empathy, and emotional depth. And in the end, that's what real intimacy is made of. She was never his, and that was the point. Casanova never believed in owning a woman. He didn't trap her in promises, possessiveness, or forever fantasies. He met her in the moment and gave that moment everything: not control, not pressure, but presence, freedom. He knew something most people forget. You can't keep someone by holding tighter. You keep someone, if only for a while, by letting them be completely themselves. Casanova's romances were like poetry, brief, intense, alive. He didn't mourn when they ended. He honored them, because love to him wasn't a chain, it was a gift. He didn't collect lovers like trophies. He collected experiences, unrepeatable, raw, honest connections. No need to win her, no need to keep her, just a shared chapter, where both were fully present, fully real, and fully free. That's not detachment. That's respect. He wrote about the way a woman laughed, how her thoughts danced before she spoke, how her presence changed the room. He remembered them, not for what they gave him, but for who they were. That was his secret. He loved without needing to possess. Because when you try to own something beautiful, you often destroy it. But when you appreciate it for what it is, you let it bloom. And sometimes that's all love needs to be.